The power for us really came with the teachers being able to work with other teachers, their colleagues at different schools.
It's just been an opportunity for us to take experiences and learning from other schools and apply them in our own building.
I found it to be a really valuable and rewarding experience.
Sister Schools has allowed us to really grow.
PLC Sister Schools are small networks of schools coming together from across Jeffco to engage in cycles of continuous improvement in INCORE, expanding on the PLC big idea of collaboration by connecting schools to deepen PLC implementation, but more importantly, to learn from each other.
Not only did we get to see and hear from educators across the district and figure out what they're doing in our PLCs, but it was a really great time for myself and my coworkers to look at the practices that we were doing at Dean and celebrate our successes and think about, well, what are our next steps and how can we improve this process?
And we had the opportunity as a staff to gain a lens into how the collaborative teams at the various schools worked. We had an opportunity to sit side by side and work through and create some best practices around PLC work and collaboration within our content teams to make sure that our teaching is responsive and data-driven.
We've taken lots of great professional learning ideas, just talking among other schools that, again, we brought right back to our building and that our staff really valued and continue to use some of those pieces to this day.
Our meetings with our teams, our departments, have become much more concise and consistent, which is beneficial in many ways and ultimately benefits the kids in the end.
So for me, it really is the focus, renewing our commitments and our practices related to PLC, and just the energy and excitement that comes when teachers actually get to talk to other teachers, which they don't get to do very often.
Schools are paired based on similar work, and so then when we're having those discussions, we're paired in the right way, meaning we can have those great conversations about what's working for us and what are some challenges and some next steps, and it's just that opportunity to really connect and talk about those things. It's been really huge for us.
Together, we came up with new strategies that would work for all of us, that we all committed to taking back to our schools and trying out.
PLC Sister Schools commit to creating a PLC implementation plan, attending all 4 Sister School Network dates with the same team, taking action and adjusting their work between Sister School dates, sharing evidence of action and deeper implementation during the Sister School dates, and hosting one of the dates during the year.
The experience has provided a platform of conversation for my instructional leaders, as well as provided some adoption of some amazing practices across the board in all contents that have become more and more stabilized and consistent.
The reality is that all schools are operating in some capacity as a professional learning community. The question is, what are teams actually doing during that time?
So this year we worked a lot on data protocols and actually looking at student work. So things that we knew about, but we needed to recommit ourselves to.
And one way that I'm really excited that we're going to improve that process is through something called the student work protocol. So that's an opportunity after students take most likely a formative assessment, but to really process the work that they did, and then as a team come up with what that reteaching actually looks like, and not just saying, here's how we're going to reteach it and move on, but going through the process and practicing that reteaching was something that was really, really valuable to me.
The PLC team commits to supporting sister schools through facilitating learning and connections across the network, providing funding for the release of 2 teachers for each school during all 4 days, and to co-create individualized partnerships to support implementation of PLC goals.
Our district PLC team is really thoughtful in putting together professional learning that makes sense, that is kind of geared toward where we are, constantly collecting feedback as well from us so that they are ensuring that the work that we're doing in PLC Sister School is tailored to what we need at that point in time.
The thing I wanted to share is the checklist that we created as a Sister Schools PLC group. This checklist has really helped every department think more carefully and more effectively within each of the questions.
But we assign roles, we have a common agenda, we have a common data collector. Our teams have made working agreements, and we are all just working on making that process as smooth as possible, and it has made us more focused on student outcomes.
We also developed a plan to be more intentional with our interventions and our enrichment.
So I think it's very powerful. After each and every session, my teachers said how valuable the day was for them. And then I got to see them trying new things in our PLCs.
So why would schools be engaged in the Sister School Network? We know that collaboration and collective efficacy are strongly supported by research, that schools learn creative solutions from collaboration across schools. It supports moving towards sustainability of PLC practices. It supports the JEFCO strategic plan and connects to the school's UIP, meanwhile leading to improved student outcomes and educator learning.
It was a challenge, but it was really rewarding in the end.
We had such an amazing experience. We grew so much. We learned from other schools. We adapted some tools to become more effective in PLC.
We are lucky in JEFCO that we actually have this support. I don't see this when I work with schools and other districts, so let's take advantage of it.
I definitely give a thumbs up and encourage anyone considering joining the sister network around the PLC work to do so. It has been a valuable asset to Carmody Middle School and our success.
I absolutely recommend this structure, and it's really important for teachers to hear from teachers in other buildings.
It's been a fantastic experience. I highly recommend it. I know I'm looking forward to it this next year as well.
We on the PLC team are so excited to continue the work of the Sister Schools Network into next year. If you would like more information, please join us for our informational meeting and Q&A on May 7th via Google Docs. You'll find the link below. Also, there's a one-pager with more information there as well. Thank you for all the hard work that you and your schools do in your PLCs, and we hope that you join us next year to become part of our Sister Schools Network.